YouTube. Today we're making turmeric tea. I drink turmeric tea because it's awesome. First of all, it's a great taste, an acquired taste for some until you get used to it, but with the right amount of sweetener and perhaps some coffee creamer or milk, you can get to enjoy it. It has awesome and numerous health benefits, and I highly suggest it for anybody who suffers from skin conditions or who has respiratory issues, arthritis, even fibromyalgia, which I have. It really helps with the pain and the inflammation. It's really good. So what you're going to need are a few things here. Some ginger, looks like this, and you're going to need some turmeric root. It's kind of funny looking as well, but it's awesome. Has an orangish color on the inside. I've already taken the liberty of peeling them with the vegetable peeler. Okay, so here's the turmeric right here. It's already peeled. This is the ginger. I used 4 large turmeric roots like this, and then they kind of broke as I was peeling. And with the ginger, I used about 2 inches. And mine is pretty wide around, it's probably about 2.5 inches in circumference. So I'll say about 2 inches long by about, 2 inches long should be fine. Also, you're going to want to use some whole cloves, some ground nutmeg, black pepper. You can add a little bit of vanilla flavoring at the end if you like. And you can use either the ground cinnamon or the cinnamon bark sticks. I usually use the sticks, but I'm out at this time and I want the tea now. I don't want to go to the store. You'll definitely need a nice mug to put it in when you're done. Some honey for sweetener. And you're definitely going to need some water. Now, once you're done with all of these pieces, we're going to use a strainer like this one. And we're going to strain it into a cup or into a pitcher, depending on how much you make. And I'll show you how to do that after we've made the tea. So I'm going to pause this for a moment while I get set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my sink's on the other side of the kitchen, so I took the liberty of putting 8 cups of water in. Okay, just fill this puppy up 4 times, put it in there. So we're going to take the turmeric like this and just go on and set the turmeric in there. Doesn't matter if little pieces of stuff come off, like see how there's little chips from the turmeric. That's okay because we're going to strain it all when we're done. And my ginger is already peeled and cut up. I'm just going to drop that in there as well. I forgot to mention the first time around that you will need a spoon to stir it with. I know that this looks like it's dirty, but it's not. Turmeric stains everything it touches. Turns it a yellowish orange, including my fingers, if you can see here. So the spoon is actually clean. It just looks like it's not. Now, I'm going to turn on the stove. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So I've got the water on high because I'm using a big pot. Now I used 8 cups. So we are going to use 1 clove per cup. Okay? These are whole cloves. They look like little trees. Little itty bitty trees. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more makes 8. There we are. 8. Okay, I use 2 dashes of nutmeg per cup of water. So 8 cups of water. I'm going to use 1, 2. There's 1 cup. That's 6. 8. Okay, that's 4 cups worth of dash of nutmeg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, that's a total of 16 dashes, really tiny dashes, not big ones. You can see it's floating around here. the black pepper. Just gonna kind of just grind a little bit of pepper in there. I turned mine about 8 times and I'm good. Now, with the cinnamon, I just take the top off and I do, this is a tablespoon right here, and I do about a tablespoon of cinnamon to start off with. Just a nice well-rounded tablespoon. And that's what I'm going to start off with. That's usually plenty. And you can smell the cinnamon the minute it hits the water. It smells great. Okay. Now, when we are done, we're going to be adding some vanilla extract, like this. At the end, a little bit of honey once we put it in the glass to drink. And also, I keep this Italian sweet cream creamer on hand because I like to put a little dash of it in my tea. Some people use regular milk, some use cream. I like this sweetener, the non-dairy coffee creamer, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to stir this a little bit, and we're just going to let it do its thing until it starts boiling, which hopefully should be pretty quickly. We've got the fire up on high. The water is kind of a brownish orange. Okay, so we're going to take a break until this starts boiling and then I'll come back. So I'm back and the water has started to boil. Once it starts boiling, I just kind of give it a little light stir, and then I reduce the flame and let it simmer for a little bit. I just turn it down to about medium, and I'm just going to stir it a little bit and then let it simmer. Now your water will start to look kind of funky like this because the cinnamon's in it, and cinnamon does not dissolve and congeal into the water when it's boiling. And that's okay, because we're going to strain it. You may have a little bit of sediment left at the bottom of your cup once we're done, but that's okay too, because it's not going to hurt you. It'll only enhance the flavor. So we're just going to let this simmer for a little bit, and you can see the nice, let me see here. Now you can see it's just kind of simmering. It's making nice little ripples. You want to leave it about there, because if you turn it up too high and you start to get a really brisk boil, you're going to boil away half of your water once it starts really going. So again, that's why I keep it down on medium. I usually let it go 10 to 15 minutes. It's a matter of preference. You can certainly just take your hand and just kind of wave it over the pot toward your face, and you can really smell everything, and it smells great. Just don't put your face too close to the steam, because you don't want to get a fiery, steamy facial. So just like this, just enough. It smells great. At this point, if you want to add something else, you can. I don't smell as much ginger as I would like to smell. I like a ton of ginger in my turmeric tea. So I'm just going to take a little bit of ground ginger and add it. Just a couple of dashes. And it's just a matter of preference. And as you make it, you'll develop your own preference for what you want more or less of. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Again, I'm just put that in there and just kind of stir it in a little bit. And so I'm spinning that down here. And we're just going to let that go. And when it's ready, I'll be back so I can show you how to strain it and put it in the cup. Okay, so it's done. I just turned it off. And we're going to go ahead and have a cup of tea. It is at this point that I bring in the ladle just because I spill everything. It's easier for me to drink, to strain it this way. So I'm just going to take my cup, hold the strainer over it like this. You can use a smaller strainer, and in fact I suggest that if you have a smaller one. It's just that the mouth on this cup is so wide, I don't have a strainer small enough to, or large enough to cover it, but small enough to not fall in. So here we are. I'm just taking a ladleful, and this is all I'm going to do. Just strain it on in there. If I should happen to pick up any pieces of turmeric and ginger, it's just going to stay right here in the strainer. All right, so I've got a nice cup of turmeric tea, and this is what it looks like once the turmeric and the ginger has finished boiling. It just kind of takes the color away from it a little bit. There's still going to be some sediment in here because there is cinnamon, ground cinnamon in here, and again, like I said, it doesn't melt and congeal with the water. I just take just like a splash, just a splash, about that much, if you can see that. Just that much. It's like 3 or 4 drops of vanilla. Don't put too much vanilla because too much of it is not good for you. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I forgot my spoon. So I put the measuring spoons in the sink already. But we'll just take this. I take about a tablespoon of honey and add it to the tea. And just kind of stir that in. And then just a splash. Just enough to turn this like a light golden brown. Just a splash of creamer. And I mean a splash. You can start off doing it this way. See how it's kind of brownish? That's not the color you want. You want it to be just another splash here. And once we stir it, it's going to lighten it up a little bit. So it's kind of a lighter color. More like a lighter color like that. And if you prefer more creamer, you could always add more. I don't like a lot of creamer in mine. I just put a splash or two. Just enough to just really change enough color so that it looks like a thick, milky-ish consistency and not like water. So it looks a lot more milky and less like water. And then from here, you just drink and enjoy. Bon appetit, as they say. My gosh, that is so good. It's nice and sweet. It's great, and I think I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching my video on how to make turmeric tea 101. Keisha signing off. Keep it healthy. Bye.